Hey everybody, it's Ran Biderman here again with a new video talking about team building. Alright, let's touch this subject. A lot of people are interested in building teams because they see teams are very successful. So what's up with that? Should I open my own team? One of my coaching clients came back from a real estate event. When she was there, she met another agent that has a team, and that agent made last year less money than what she's making. A lot less money than what she's making, less than half. Why is that? Well, the other agent has a team with 6 agents on the team, and 6 agents made less than what she was making last year in GCI. I want to talk to you about the right way and the wrong way, the right reasons and the wrong reasons to actually start thinking about, do I need a team? Should I build a team? What's my first step? Am I ready for it? Is my business really ready right now to scale up, or maybe I should wait? These are all very important questions. We're going to discuss that right now. So let's get into it. Okay, a couple of questions I wrote down here. I want to ask you. I want to bring you through these questions. I want to walk you through these questions as if we're in a coaching session. So obviously I'm going to ask some questions. You want to get a pen and paper, write down some of those thoughts, and let's try to figure out if you're ready to build your team. So the big question is, are you ready to scale up and build a team? Scaling for the wrong reasons. Let's have a discussion. Are you having any of the following thoughts when you're thinking about building your own team? Question number 1. The first point here is, I need to make more money. Are you thinking about that, and for that reason you want to launch a team? Do you want to build a team because you need to make more money? Do you want to build a team because you need to grow your production? Or maybe you want to build a team because you cannot do this by yourself. You don't want to do it by yourself. Maybe you don't like selling. That can be a reason. Another reason maybe is I prefer to hire agents to work for me and do all the work instead of me doing it. So where are we standing? Now another question. Well, if Charlie has a team, I can also have a team. Or if John Smith has a team, or if Mary Smith has a team, I can have my own team as well. Just thinking about that stuff is what we're talking about here. Another point that I hear often from a lot of agents is, it looks like teams do more volume. Maybe I should build a team. So if you're having any of those thoughts, contemplations, if you're thinking like that, if that's the direction you're going in, I want to warn you and tell you that this might not be the best time for you to build a team. I'd like to show you a couple of points that you might not think about. So this agent that I've been working with 2 years ago, she was having couple of different thoughts about, should I build a team? Should I just hire an assistant? What should I do right now? And she was doing at the time about 15 transactions a year. Now, at 15 transactions a year, she did not generate enough leads by herself. She did not generate enough business by herself. Therefore, she started thinking, I want to do more deals. I would like to scale up my business and production. Should I then contemplate bringing in other agents? Maybe I should buy more leads and give them to agents. So I want to stop you right here just for 1 second, just to make sure that when you want to open a team or when you want to build a team, let's go and look at some of the right reasons that you should contemplate building a team, and then we'll talk about what needs to happen next. So I'm getting too many leads, okay? It's impossible to catch up. I'm falling behind. I'm working 24/7 and still I don't catch up on all the leads that I need to call back. You know, people are waiting for me to call them back. If you have that issue in your business, managing to create a lot of leads to go through your funnel, and then your funnel is not really processing the leads correctly, so you're not really converting enough of these leads and you're actually losing a lot of opportunities. Another thought is, I need an assistant. If you feel that you're working too much and you're doing too much stuff, you might need an assistant. Thinking about, should I hire an assistant? These are kind of the right reasons. Another thought is, I need an assistant. If you feel that you're working too much and you're doing too much stuff, you might need an assistant. Thinking about, should I hire an assistant? These are the right reasons for you to start contemplating building your own team. Another one is, I need to delegate so that I could actually do more. Like if you catch yourself, okay, I have too many leads to get back to, people are waiting for me to call them back, buyers are waiting to see some properties, sellers are waiting for CMAs, I'm falling behind. If that's the scenario you're in, building a team should be the next step. Let's quickly go through a list that I just wrote down for you of what is really the right way to build a team, how should you scale up, and what does it look like. Let's go over that right now. Okay, so here's the list. Get to 25 deals annually as soon as possible, on your own, by yourself, with no other agents on your team, with no assistants, with nothing. Deal with the stress, deal with what needs to be dealt with. Go to 25 transactions a year and do it consistently. In other words, you're not killing yourself this year, you're doing 25, and then next year you're falling to, doing 8 transactions. I'm talking about constantly generating enough leads so that you're closing at least 2 to 3 deals every single month. So that's the first step. By yourself, on your own. Okay, next, when you actually do 25 deals by yourself, it's time to hire a part-time assistant. Not a full-time assistant, but a part-time assistant. You need someone to help you with answering calls while you're prospecting. While you're doing meetings with buyers and sellers, you don't want your phone to ring, and you also don't want to miss those opportunities coming in. So all those calls should be forwarded to a part-time assistant who picks up the calls on your behalf, takes those messages, and then give you those leads. Another thing that you need is returning emails. Emails that are not important for you, emails that can be answered by the administrative department, should be answered by a part-time assistant. And then booking your showings. I hear agents spending hours trying to catch up with some agents out there that are not returning phone calls or texts just to book a showing appointment, which is ridiculous, you know it is, but it's happening every day. The next thing you need help with is scheduling appointments. So if you are on the phone, you're doing stuff, you can give your assistant the schedule, okay? You can share with her your Calendly or whatever schedule you have online, and she can go into the schedule and book appointments on your behalf, she or he. Another thing your assistant can help you with is social media. Specific posts, you can even post ahead of time. You can give her, okay, here's what I want out this week on social media, here's what I need, and your assistant can help you with all that stuff. They can help you with also sending out postcards, creating a postcards, designing a postcards, helping you design the blog, helping you post some stuff on your blog, doing all that stuff that is kind of secondary. So the second step, the first step is you do 25 deals on your own by yourself. Next, hire a part-time assistant. After you do that, you start creating a little bit more time in your schedule. Now you're free. Now you have more free time to do more of what's causing leads to get into the system. So now it's actually time for you to hire a transaction coordinator. You don't have to hire a full-time transaction coordinator. And if you need one, by the way, reach out to me. Hire a part-time assistant. After you do that, you start creating a little bit more time in your schedule. Now you're free. Now you have more free time to do more of what's causing leads to get into the system. So now it's actually time for you to hire a transaction coordinator. You don't have to hire a full-time transaction coordinator. And if you need one, by the way, reach out to me. I got the best solution for you. From the moment you have a contract, meaning the seller accepted your offer, from that moment, going all the way to the closing, you should be working with the transaction coordinator to do all that stuff on your behalf. So you hire the part-time assistant, you have a transaction coordinator closing your deals, doing all the paperwork, scheduling on inspections, appraisals, all that stuff is done by someone else. Great. Now you need to get to 40 plus deals a year on your own with the help of those 2 people. The next step for you is to upgrade your part-time assistant to a full-time assistant. Once you have a full-time assistant, you start delegating more things to the assistant, and obviously that's going to cause you to do more deals. You will have more free time to actually work the leads, get to the people on time, and do things the right way. The next thing to do is to hire a marketing specialist. A marketing specialist is someone that helps you with your online marketing. They help you post ads on social media, Facebook targeted ads, maybe you're doing Google advertisements, any advertisements you do, and anything, for example, also in addition to that, designing your e-flyers, designing your flyers, designing your postcards. So anything that has to do with marketing your business has to be delegated to a marketing specialist. You don't have to hire someone full-time, and that's another thing that I can help you with. So if you need a marketing specialist without hiring anybody, I can help you with that solution as well. But at a certain moment in the future, you might need to have one in-house, sitting in your office, doing that full-time on your behalf. All right, the next step is to actually bring in your first buyer agent. You want to bring in your first buyer agent when you have too many leads, obviously from buyers coming in. You want to focus on getting listings. Therefore, it's time for you to start delegating and allowing someone else to join the party and make some money. Now, how much should you pay a buyer agent? So at the beginning stage, it depends on how good the buyer agent is. But if you bring in a buyer agent on your team who is a brand new licensee, obviously 50-50 is more than a good deal. 50-50 split with the buyer agent is fair if the buyer agent is producing and they do, for example, more than 3 transactions a month. At that time, you can upgrade them maybe to a 60% or 70% split. That's something that needs to be discussed between you and the agent. Okay, so now between you and the buyer agent, the transaction coordinator, the marketing specialist, and your full-time assistant, you should be doing at least 75 deals between you and the agent. So the team at that moment should produce minimum 75 sales a year before you're even thinking about growing the team and bringing the next person in. The next person you should bring in is another buyer agent. So when your buyer agent gets overwhelmed, okay, when they fall behind on appointments, when you see them overwhelmed, at that moment, you bring in another buyer agent to help them. The buyer agent that you had on board with you, working with you, they will become a buyer's leads manager plus your first buyer agent. Okay, we're getting confused over here. So you got buyer agent number 1 is the one who's working with you for a long time. Buyer agent number 2 is the one who you just bring in on board. Buyer agent number 1 should be mentoring buyer agent number 2. Show them the ropes, show them exactly how to do stuff, and train them through the process. Buyer agent number two will be obviously in a mentorship program, so some of their commission will go to your buyer agent number 1. So buyer agent number 1 right now is also gaining financial benefits from having another buyer agent on the team. That's fair, and it's the right way to do that. So what I normally do is you can put your buyer agent number 1 on a 60-40 split. Buyer agent number 2 is on 50 split, and then the 10% between the two goes to buyer agent number 1. That's just one way of doing that. After you bring in another buyer agent and you see that everybody is busy and they go back to normal production level, you want to hire another assistant at that level because you're going to bring in a lot of contracts. There's going to be a lot of stuff to do, running around, going to the closings, delivering packages, delivering gifts for closings, and doing all that stuff, picking up checks, dropping checks. So you probably need another assistant at that moment. Could be part-time assistant until you get overwhelmed in the administrative department, and then you can actually delegate. Now, if you bring in another full-time assistant, after you hire another assistant, you want to focus on working strictly with sellers. At this moment, you're working strictly with sellers, and all the buyers' leads go to buyers' agents. You're not dealing with buyers at that point. Now it's your turn to go to 100 closings a year with those 2 agents and all of the admin help that you're getting. When you get to 100 deals a year, at that moment in time, it's time for you to contemplate bringing in an office manager, someone who can manage the entire operation. You're still going to go out there getting listings, but you don't want to deal with the operation itself. You want to basically separate yourself from all that stuff that's going on. You have an office manager, administrative manager, supervising everybody and everything that's going on in your business, and you hold them accountable to certain standards, and you work together obviously as a team. You are the team leader, but there is someone else beside you that holds everybody else accountable and helping you achieve the goals of the business. At this point, obviously, you have a lead generation machine. You also have a lead conversion machine that helps you convert all these leads coming in, and you have an oiled machine that works beautifully. What do you do at that time? So there could come a moment when you really want to step completely outside of all this stuff and you want to own that business and stay as a business owner who holds accountable everyone else to achieve the goals, but you're not operating, you're not working day to day in the business. So what you need to do at that time is actually hire a full-time listing agent on a salary that obviously their job will be to go get those listings. And what's left for you at that moment is just lead the team. So when you do this, you really own a business. This is really how you go A to Z from a single agent doing 5 deals a year, 10, 15, 20, 25 to the next level. Okay, let's summarize what we spoke about and make sure that you're not on the wrong path. So if you want to open a team because you're not doing 25 deals by yourself and you need someone to help you get to 25, Not a good idea. If you cannot do 25 deals by yourself, it's not the time for you to build a team. It's actually the time for you to learn how to close 25 deals by yourself. So, and once that's done, you will be able to obviously start building a team. So if you want to do it for the right reasons, you want to avoid doing it for the wrong reasons. Remember, the wrong reasons are, I need to make more money. Okay, if you need to make more money, let's talk, let's do some coaching, let's get you on the right path, let's start generating leads for you. Now, if you're overwhelmed, like we spoke before, you feel overwhelmed, you got too many appointments, you're running between them, you're not returning phone calls on time, you're like overwhelmed, you're doing too many things, you're working 24/7, and you're doing close to 20-25 deals a year, yes, it's time to talk about building a team. And at that time, let's have a conversation. Guys, I invite you to scroll down over here, okay, and click on my website. When you go to the website, you can get yourself booked for a free consultation session where me and you will be one-on-one. We can talk about exactly everything that's happening in your business right now. So I'm offering it to you complimentary. You don't need to worry about payments and all that stuff. Put it aside. Go to my website, ranbiderman.com, to bring yourself to easily close 25 transactions so that you can actually start building your team. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. You can also post down here. Hey, don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button. All right, guys, I will see you in the next video.